I was on your website this morning looking at Melon, and can you tell me a bit more about it?
Oh, Melon's, it's fantastic. It's a really intuitive travel booking platform. It's not just your typical point A, point B algorithm type platform. This, you can even put in addresses specific to where you need to go. It'll pop up properties that we have relationships with. And it scrubs all of our competitors' websites as well as supplier websites to make sure that we're always having the best price put forward for you. We're able to list our Melon supplied products on there, which have value add-ons specific to corporate traveler customers that aren't accessible by any other travel management companies or agencies. So that's a nice piece for us to have. The reporting aspect of it is fantastic. Our executive dashboard suite that's on there is really useful. Almost any type of reporting in any format you can imagine, we can look up for you, from who's coming up to be on the road, what your carbon footprint is, how long your people are going to be, average price per hotels and cities, the whole 9 yards.
Was so for people now, are used to because you're a corporate, right in the name, corporate traveler. Is there still that hands-on experience, or how does Melon sort of incorporate with the sort of hands-on service that some people are going to need?
So that's one of the unique pieces about corporate travelers. We're technology backed by people. So we are always making a point of having, when you book your travel, even if you're booking through the Melon platform, it's still running through a set of eyes in the background. We have dedicated travel managers who are working on each account, making sure that there's, simple things like John books his plane ticket when his actual ID says Jonathan. So I've been in the office when I've heard travel managers actually catching those and calling the client to say, hey, I've noticed that you have a different name in than what we have for your ID. So having the people backing the technology is really nice because you've got that extra human touch. If you don't want to be booking through the platform, say you're traveling somewhere overseas, it's better to reach out to one of our agents because that human experience and the knowledge that's there, you can't access through a program. Maybe a 3-hour layover is too long in one city. We can find one that's 2 hours, or if we leave an hour earlier, you might be able to save $400 or $500 per ticket. So there's definitely the need for travel agents, and having them back with that technology is what's putting us ahead of the rest of the group.
What about I guess it's again very fitting for these times is the emergency monitoring, tracking where your people are going in and out of sites, all this sort of stuff, which is just sort of ratcheted up. It was always priority for companies, but now it's just been ratcheted up to a whole other level and in a whole other way. How much is that integrated into what you're offering?
So it can be as granular or as broad reaching as you'd like. We could easily have it so that travelers can turn tracking onto their phone. So if they are going to a little bit more volatile site, you have the visibility on where your travelers are. Or if travelers aren't comfortable with that, and you can just have an executive dashboard set up. I've got 10 people in Afghanistan and 5 people in Sierra Leone, and they can monitor that. We have a really unique program that pops up as well that lets you know of any alerts that are happening anywhere in the world. So you're always able to help your travelers at any time. They have check-in functions so that if something does happen, there's a natural disaster or something, they're able to just press a button and say, yep, I'm okay, I'm safe. We've also got different programs that we offer to our clients where if they needed to be removed or emergency evac out of a situation, that's something that we're also able to help out with.
Really? Is there sort of, I mean, just even recently, is there anything that sort of just because sometimes when you're talking about this stuff, you kind of need to put it into real world examples so people can kind of see, okay, this is what's different than, let's say, if I'm just booking through a typical airline booking site. So is there sort of anything that stands out for you as sort of being able to facilitate people's, you're not going to be able to avoid delayed travel right now. That's just a reality that we're all dealing with, but just even maybe making it a little easier for people.
So a perfect example, I was traveling just the other day, and as I was heading out on the tarmac, I'm sitting on the plane, I got my book, I've cracked it open, getting ready to start my flight. We're taxiing, and I realized we're taxiing for a really long time. I couldn't figure out why we were taxiing for so long. Next thing I know, we're pulling back up to the gate, and everybody has to deboard because there was some problem with the landing gear. I sit at the back of the plane. It's just my personal preference. I get off the plane. There's 200 people in line ahead of me at the ticket counter booth. Everybody's treating the poor airline staff a little bit rougher than they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I sat down and I called our emergency line just to see. I've never had to use it before. I wanted to get the experience. While I was on the phone, not even 2 people had made it through the checkup line or the line at the ticket counter, pardon me, to get on a new flight. And I was already rebooked and on the next flight. 20 minutes later, I was at the next gate. So being able to reach out and have that accessibility to help navigate some of these situations that are coming up, a lot of our travelers find really valuable. It not only lets them know that they've got somebody watching out for them and keeping an eye on them, it also has their management and leadership team knowing that I don't have to worry about my people when they're on the road. We have somebody who's got their back and is making sure that they're being taken care of.